Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mr. Didi Irawan SS MPD, thank you for attending this presentation. Today we will introduce a book entitled Ki Hajar Dewantara, with examining the life story, toil and struggle of one of the great educational. So I'm here with my partners. Let me introduce them before we start. Andini, Najla, Aska, and Zakia. Biography of Ki Hajar Dewantara. Raden Mas is a novel title originating from Java. This title was attached to a man born on May 2, 1889. His name was Raden Mas Suryandra, who at the age of 40 changed his name to Ki Hajar Dewantara. In his family, he was the fifth child of the prince couple Aryo Suryandra and Raden Ayu Sangya. His grandfather was Sri Pakualam III. His grandfather was a descendant of Sultan Hamengkubuwono II. Raden Ayu Sangya is the great grandson of Nyi Ageng Serang, who is a descendant of Sunan Kalijaga. Suwardi started school at Els, or what is known as Urban Elementary School. This school was funded by the colonial government. Then, Suwardi continued his education at Quick School, or teacher training school, but Suwardi only took 1 year because he received an offer from Dr. Wahidin Sudiro Husodo in Puro Pakualaman to enter Stovia. Suwardi finally accepted the offer to study at Stovia. Then he was for 4 months and made him not go to class and not get back. Even though he failed to finish at Stovia, Suwardi still gained a lot of new experience, of one which was being a journalist or correspondent for several newspapers. He was also involved in social and political organization. At the age of 40, Raden Mas Suwardi Suryaningrat changed his name to Ki Hajar Dewantara. Suwardi and his wife found the Indonesian Press Party, which provided news input to news sources in the Netherlands about various events that occurred in the East Indies colony. During his exile, Suwardi's children, Ni Supati Asti and Ki Subroto Haryo Motaram, were born, but in 1920, Suwardi returned to prison after his release. Suwardi found a college with a national character. Ki Hajar Dewantara was appointed the first Minister of Education in Indonesia. He also received an honorary doctor from Gajah Mada University on December 19, 1956. Ki Hajar Dewantara breathed his last on April 26, 1959 at the Padepokan and was buried in Wijaya Bratawen. After which his wife took over her husband's duties.
Role in the movement. Ki Hajar Dewantara's contribution to Indonesia was done through his activities or role in the movement. The first political party in Indonesia was founded called Indonesia Party. To Together with the two of his great friends, namely Phil Steger and Dr. Cipto Mangunkusumo, the three founders later became known as Tiga Serangkai. He also founded the Bumi Putra Committee to criticize the Dutch government. He also wrote an article entitled Als en Nederlander was, If I Were Dutch, and for alleen maar, alleen voor one for all, but all for one too. When the Dutch government decided to exile the Tiga Serangkai to the Netherlands, their exile became an opportunity for Suwardi to deepen his education. When he returned to Indonesia in September 1919, Suwardi joined his brother's school to teach. This experience was used to develop the concept of teaching in the educational institution he would establish Taman. After leaving Sofia, he switched his profession to journalism. His first career in journalism was an assistant at the Daily Sedaya Utama, a Japanese language newspaper in Jakarta. Until 1912, he worked as an editorial member of the Daily Express in Bandung. Furthermore, the following are the various content of the Express newspaper published in Bandung. Number 1. Criticism of the Dutch colonial system in Indonesia. 2. The Express often published the workings of the Tiga Serangkai. 3. Feeling Indonesian nationalism. 4. The Express reported and documented various forms of oppression by the Dutch government. The next step taken by Ki Hajar Dewantara in fighting for Indonesian independence was to form a political organization. The organization was called Indies Party. The Indies Party has the following work programs. First, observe the national ideals of the Indies or Indonesia. Second, eradicate social arrogance in relationships with both in government and society. Third, eradicate various efforts that result in inter-religious hatred. Fourth, increase pro-India influence in the government. Fifth, to secure rights for all Indians. And sixth, in teaching, to aim at the economic interests of the Indies and to strengthen the economy of the weak.
The next one is establishment of Taman Siswa. Taman Siswa was founded by Ki Hajar Dewantara as a form of struggle against colonialism in Indonesia through education and culture. Ki Hajar Dewantara founded Taman Siswa on 3rd of July 1922 with the initial name National Outreach Institute Taman Siswa. This is the relation of his ideas with his friends in the Selasa Kliwonan Association led by Pangeran Suryo Mentaram. Selasa Kliwonan consisted of political, cultural, and spiritual figures. It was decided that Ki Hajar Dewantara was assigned to lead the implementation of children education, while Pangeran Suryo Mentaram was assigned to lead the implementation of adult or old education. The principle of Taman Siswa was delivered by Ki Hajar Dewantara at the first Taman Siswa Congress in Yogyakarta on October 20, 1923. The first one is the right of person to government himself. Second, freedom of mind, spirit, and energy for children. The third, on culture. Fourth, education for all people. 5, believed in one's own strength. 6, self-supporting, and 7, the sincerity of education and teachers is teaching. Taman Siswa culture develops the Trisakti Jiwa concept, which consists of Cipta, Rasa, and Karsa, and the Trihayu concept, which consists of Mamayu Hayuning Salira, it's making oneself happy, Mamayu Hayuning Bangsa, it's making the nation happy, and Mamayu Hayuning Manungso, it's making humanity happy. Taman Siswa also created Taman Siswa culture also teaches the trilogy of leadership concept, which consists of Ingarsa Suntulada, when in the form be a good example, Ingarsa Madya Mangunkarsa, when in the middle be able to build enthusiasm, and Tuturi Handayani, when behind to be able to encourage. Another concept in Taman Siswa culture is Tripantangan, which consists of abstinence from harta, using other people's wealth, Raja abusing position, and wanita playing with women.
Next, the contribution of the father of Indonesian education. Ki Hajar Dewantara made a major contribution to education in Indonesia through his teachings known as the Fatwa of Independent Life. Some of the main points of his teachings include: first, lawan sastra ngesti mulya, is education is the means to achieve national glory. Second, sastra Herjendra Yuningrat Pangluwating View is noble knowledge saves the world and eradicates barbarism, marking the birth of Taman Siswa in 1922. The third is Suci Tata Ngesti Tunggal, inner purity and outer order bring perfection, which became the promise of Taman Siswa factors, recording the birth of Persatuan Taman Siswa 1923. Fourth, tetap mantap antep, persistence and loyalty in the struggle bring results that are valuable and difficult to shake. 5. Ngandel, kendel, bandel, believe in God and oneself, courage and steadfastness in facing challenge. And 6. Nengning munang, inner peace brings clarity of mind, strength and authority to achieve goals. Ki Hajar Dewantara suggests the woman's education plays a role in building a quality young generation, with mother as the main educators in the family. Therefore, Ki Hajar Dewantara created Wisma Rini, an education center for women, and introduced the concept of co-instruction and co-education, where boys and girls learn together until the age of 14. Ki Hajar also wrote the song Wasita Rini to teach modesty and independence for women to adapt to the times. Ki Hajar Dewantara emphasized the importance of early childhood education to build noble values and develop children's cognitive, emotional, social, and physical aspects. His concept of Tuturi Handayani emphasizes giving freedom to children through guidance and example. Ki Hajar Dewantara views education and teaching as two complementary concepts. Teaching focuses on imparting knowledge and skills and developing children's potential physics and spiritually. Ki Hajar emphasized holistic education that encompasses physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual development with a real-life-based approach and community involvement. The conclusion: the life journey that a person goes through is almost always followed by ups and downs, even if they are born from a prominent or noble background. About himself, which consists of his childhood, education, and career, marriage, and death, we can see that the gentry at the time did not only enjoy better facilities than ordinary people. This book brings us to know more closely with Ki Hajar Dewantara, a figure who not only contributed to pioneering national education but also left an important legacy of educational principles that are very relevant today. Ingarso Sungtuwodo, Imadya Mangunkarsa, Tuturi Handayani. Through this book, we are invited to understand the enthusiasm, values, and great contribution of Ki Hajar Dewantara in fighting for free and open education for all groups.
Hopefully, with this question, we can get new inspiration and learn more about the figure of Ki Hajar Dewantara and revive his enthusiasm in everyday life. Thank you for your attention and time given to listen to this presentation. Hopefully, this presentation is useful for all of us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.